Hey everybody, how's it going? Version 15.1 has dropped last night, so let's take a look at the new stuff that is popping up with for 15.1. There's a few things you want to make sure that you're aware of that you may not be fully recognizing unless you're told about it, so let's make sure we do that. So first things first is Monster. We just passed one, but of course it didn't take advantage of any of this because it was before the update, but this will be coming up next time. And one of the biggest ones here is that the temple will now guarantee 2 drops for the time bonus. So if you're able to clear the Tokinoma temple, you finish it within that time limit, the one that's ticking down on the side, you will be guaranteed 2 drops out of that. So that's pretty awesome. And of course that is exclusive to Monster Strike Day, so the 10th, 20th, and 30th of each month. Let's see, the next one here is that there is a special quest for evil materials that will be available on Monster Strike Day only as well. Of course, remember everybody's plus 99, so everybody's functioning as max luck there, which is pretty nice. There's a few caveats here. You can only do this one time as host, but you can join this as many times as you want as guest. So I assume the rates, hopefully the rates for like divines and max stones are maxed up there, but we'll see. It only costs 1 stamina, and the first time you clear it as a host, you will get an orb out of that. Now, I don't know if you're going to get an orb each time it refreshes every Monster Strike Day. I doubt that's the case, but the first time you clear it overall, you will get at least 1 orb out of that, so that's nice. And the last thing, which might not be a thing everybody's going to enjoy, is the fact that there will be a special exchangeable item on Monster Strike Day only if you have all 3 Lucky Mons, or at least 3 Lucky Mons for the week. So this is kind of them trying to say, hey, go make some max lucks, because you'll be able to exchange for this awesome item here. I know I haven't done it since like the beginning, so we'll have to see what kind of items they're gonna offer, whether it's in exchange for one of the 3 that you got, so that third one is going to be a special one. Because we've always seen that there's some nice ones out there, whether it's a Tokudama, 5 orbs, stuff like that. Hopefully they don't lock that behind the 3 Lucky Mons requirement for that, but it is coming. We'll see what happens on the next Monster Strike news. We'll definitely talk about what that thing is going to be, so hopefully it's not going to be a bummer. If it's a 4th thing on top of everything, that'd be nice, but I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. Number 2, the Eraberu Bell update. There are 2 new options available. And again, for those of you who don't know how to get to it, you go to the quest. The bottom right red button here is for the campaigns. And there on the bottom right, you can get the bell. And there are 2 new options available. The first one is here, where on the temples, I should have put temple in there, but for temples only, when you no continue clear, you are guaranteed double drops there. So you will be guaranteed 2 able berries on clear. So think about it. If you tie this in with Monster Strike Day, where you get the speed clear guaranteed too, then you're getting 4 guaranteed by using a bell and playing on Monster Strike Day, which is pretty awesome. And of course you can't double up on existing one. You can see it's grayed out right now because the campaign is already active, so you can't double a double. They're not going to be that nice to you. The other one is down here, is that the library quests will be, you can click this option to have all your library quests cost 0 points. Remember, you have a set amount of points you can use per day, which is scaled based on your rank. That will cost 0 if you use this this Eraberu Bell option. And for those of you who are out there who don't know what the other things do, you've got 2.5 times experience, you've got 5 times drops for your Evo quests, whether it's for the first one is for the Divines, the second one is for the Dragon Gems, used for Transcensions. The other temple one is to to increase the rates of gold able berries by double, and the other one is increasing the rates of gold egg drops by 2. So that is the Eraberu Bell update. Number 3 is the gauge shot values update. When you go to a monster now, let's go. Okay, Ribe here, or sorry, not Ribe, Candy. It will now show you the attack value when you hit max gauge, when it says fantastic on the bottom. And you can now tap the stats here to cycle between 3 options. First is, of course, their natural attack plus their morling separated. Click it one more time to show that value added together. And then add it one more time to see the value of when you hit the max gauge for this monster, right? So let's do it again. So you can see we're at 21,891 before the gauge. If you hit your max gauge shot, it goes all the way up to 26,269. And in case you don't know out there how that works, a gauge is split up into 4 sections, right? And based on where you end up, you get a attack bonus on top of that. So the first section gives you 2%, 5%, 10%, and 20%. So that's why, you know, when you see monsters get the buff to have a new gauge ability, their attack goes down a little bit to compensate for the fact that they will get 20% more if you hit the max gauge of that monster. So this is definitely a nice update. This will make it a lot more easier to see whether or not your monster hits that one punch line for certain monsters. You don't have to start doing calculations in your head. Just click it a few more times and you can see it. And again, this is a thing. If I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't know. So hopefully this is a helpful update. I think it's a really nice update. Alright, number 4 is, you can also see on the screen, is the bump combo elements. The monster page will now show you the element of its bump combo with an icon. Now, for the most part, if it's one bump combo like Candy here, it's obvious it's going to be their element. But for certain monsters, their sub bump combo element is slightly different that you might not remember what it was exactly. Like, let's say, I don't know what's a good example. No, Gilgamesh is not a good example. No, this is not a good example either. Himiko, I think. No, Himiko's not a good example. See, surely I should have thought about this ahead of time. There you go. Cinderella, for example. Her main bump combo is, of course, fire. But you might not remember. What was her sub bump combo? I mean, if you remember what you used to transcend her with, you might remember, but no. But of course here now you can see it's light, so it's a little bit more easier. And it'll help for stuff like the elemental areas where certain bump combos get boosted based on their elemental type. Now of course there's 2 different ones. There's the all element, and that'll be in a black background. And Kefka here has that with that pan element homing 25. You'll see a black disc with the Zen character in there, and that means all. And then there's of course going to be null elements, which Otsu had. Yeah, Otsu had it with her poison meteor and her blast. Both of them are null elements, so they are in a white disc with the Mu character saying none in it. So otherwise, the other 5 elements are based on their colors, so that should be obvious. It also matches the icon of their elements. So that is that. Number 5 is hints on quest death. Well, you may have noticed that if you happen to die on the Tower of Champions, that they gave some hints there. Of course, it's in Japanese, so if you can't read it, that's not much help. But at least it's giving you some advice as to what you need to look at when you fail on certain levels. And they have added these for more difficult quests. So like I said, they're already on the Tower of Champions, but Nigimitama, Moral, Armageddon, Paradox, Tirnanog, Villa, Sekimetama Complex, Eldorado, Raudora, Apocalypse, Now He will now all have some hints as to what you can look into to maybe not die the next time. So that's there now. So don't be afraid if you see some new pop up when you die on those stage. Number 6 is that alt arts are now visible, and I have an asterisk there because as of this recording, it's not active. They are going to be phasing it out in releases. So basically how this is going to work is, let's say you go onto a quest. Let's see. You can see the details, right? And you can see monsters that would have alternate art. Now, if this was active right now, you could press this and then it would show up, like on the screenshot you have here, the alternate forms of that monster. So, for example, let's see, I think I have another. Oops. Anyways, let's go in order of the screenshots. So, given that this update has happened, then when you go into your screen to, you're trying to make a party, right? You go here, right? You make sure you have the osusume, right? That blue icon there, and it'll show you all the monsters that are suggested for that stage. Up until now, it would only show you the monsters that matched the base form there. So the alternate form of Lucy, the alternate form of Daki, the alternate form of Arthur would not show up. As you can see here, I have the alternate form of Daki, only her main form is here. Right? After this update, you will be able to see those alternate forms in the list, which will make it so much easier to make your party. You don't have to worry about, oh wait, I know I have another Daki, it's just the Christmas form of it. So that'll be fixed. So to summarize here, let's see if I can do this correctly. Whoop. So you click the photo of a monster to see all the alternate art from its base form. The alternate art should also show up in the most used option of your box when forming your team. And some examples, like I said, you got Arthur MV, Daki Christmas, Tampopo Valentine's. And it is a phased rollout that will begin November 12th, 4 p.m. Japan time. So as of this video, it's not up yet, but they will be doing it eventually. I don't know how quickly they're planning to do it, but they did say it's a Junjun release, so it's a phased release. So you might have to wait a while. Who knows? Maybe it'll be instant. We'll see. And that's why I have the asterisk there. So, all right. Number 6, missions have been slightly reorganized. It's not too big of a deal, but as you can see here, they will have their missions split up into 3 tabs. You've got the weekly missions, which were always on the left, but now your standard missions are going to be in the middle tab, and all limited time missions will be on the right tab. So, before they were all just mixed up, maybe you saw like a red background on them. It was kind of difficult to, notice when they're, limited time. So now they're going to be on the right tab, and I'm sure we're going to see them being used in full force once the collab begins. So we'll be able to see that right away in this tab. So don't be afraid if you see something new there. That is what has happened. And last one, oops, this should be a 7. And I feel like I should talk about this just in case this works for MonPass users. I don't know if this works internationally. Of course, this is specifically for something in Japan, but if you are a MonPass user, you can click that button on the top right. That, of course, shows the MonPass icon. And you can now install a MonSpot location in your current location. This is great, of course, for people who don't live anywhere near a MonSpot. Of course, again, I don't know if this works for those of you who are international. The map doesn't even show up there, so I would be surprised, but who knows. Anyways, here are the details of the MonSpot. You can place your own MonSpot wherever you want. You're guaranteed to have a power assigned to that MonSpot you place. You only get 1 per day, or you can only have 1 active per day. It expires at 4 a.m. and you are free to move it around as much as you want, but the power will not change, so you can't try to essentially gotcha for a good power, right? Once you get that power is staying you for that day until it resets at 4 a.m. And of course, only the owner can see it, so just because you put one there doesn't mean I could see it as a non-MonPass user. And again, let me reiterate, I don't know if this works for those of you internationally because, when you try to use the MonSpot in an international setting, it just looks like this. It's completely blank. All right. Alright, and that is it. Of course, there are some new monsters that have been included into the library, so you can see that. So if you need to farm for them, they are now available there. And I do believe the 5-star monsters also have the Ableberry slot open to them if you fuse 2 max lucks together. So that is, if you have 198 luck between them to assign a badge for them, that is now available. So let me know if you have any questions with the latest update. I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Again, upcoming news, we do have the Hunter x Hunter collab, which I guess I'm gonna reveal this as soon as I can, so it should be later tonight to watch the updates for that. So yeah, let me know if you have any comments, questions, concerns. Hopefully that lucky monster, special item doesn't take up a slot and it's just an additional slot. That's my biggest worry. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you need any help. Subscribe, like, follow, whatever. Bye bye.